Hey everyone, so I'm doing a celebrity makeup, whoa, which is really strange for me. But I think like everyone else in the world at the moment, I have a little bit of a crush on Jennifer Lawrence. I think she's just really endearing and really sincere, and she seems like a crack, to be honest, and doesn't seem to be up herself or anything like that. And she has such a natural but striking beauty about her, and her makeup is always spot on but doesn't seem too fussy, and I think it's something that a lot of people would like to emulate and copy, and it is a really simple look to copy. I think it's worth me adding a little disclaimer here and saying that I couldn't look any more unlike the girl if I tried, but you don't have to, you know, look like her to try and copy her makeup or to want to kind of have the same look as her in regards to how she wears her makeup and how, what she say emphasizes and stuff like that. Now her eye shape of course would be more hooded, whereas obviously I have a very deep set eyes, but I still did this tutorial as if I was working on hooded eyes, so just you can kind of listen to me and follow the tips and tricks as I am applying the makeup, because I was applying it with hooded eyes in mind. I wasn't really working from any one particular look, it was just an amalgamation of a few looks I've seen just googling her makeup online, and you can just go ahead and watch the tutorial now, and also of course check to LetzMakeup.com for more information and product list and all that kind of stuff. So I already have my foundation done from the review on the foundation that I just filmed, and I'm using the Lancome Teint Visionnaire foundation. It's the new foundation and concealer duo. So my brows are kind of already done. I'm growing these guys out, so that's why I'm not really focusing too much on them. Jennifer's own eyebrows are really natural. They're nowhere near as thick as mine. They're a lot fairer. They're kind of sparse, but there's a lovely shape to them. And she doesn't need much done with them. I'd say she just puts a really light, like Omega or some kind of other light kind of taupey blonde powder through them, or maybe a really light pencil. Either way, they're not really a focus. They're definitely not overdone. They're quite natural. So of course I can't really make my eyebrows look like that, so let's ignore that. Now I'm going to use the Zoeva eyeshadow primer. This is the Longwear matte one. It's the eyeshadow fix. I have a sample of it here that I was sent with the brushes. This is a really matte primer. I find that it is quite almost drying on the lids, which would be great for anyone with oily lids or anyone who really needs to set their base. So this is really good for anyone, I think, with eyes like Jennifer. I'm just going to use my fingers to lightly apply that. So it's more important to apply that where the crease would be, and then you can extend it a little bit above. I'm actually going to start off now by applying some black in on the waterline. Jennifer has beautiful almond shaped eyes, and this only goes to really accentuate that kind of almond shape as well. So make sure you apply it to plenty on the bottom waterline, and as she's fair, I think it would be important to tightline her eyes as well. I would do this for everyone though, because I think it's annoying when you can see that kind of pink line on the top inner waterline when you have a lot of eye makeup on. The trick with hooded eyes is to bring the eyeshadow up quite far. This way you're not really putting too much emphasis on the hidden part, and you can really use that extra space that a lot of hooded eyes have, and also you can utilize the space underneath the eye as well. I'm going to use this black pearl colour, which is like a shimmery kind of carbon colour, a shimmery black colour by Sleep Makeup, and it's one of their Eye Divine palettes that's out at the moment, and it's Lagoon, so it's from their Aqua collection. And I'm going to first start by applying it to the lash line. I'm going to apply it underneath first and really just press it in between the hairs, and make sure that you keep it quite thin on the inner corner, because what I've seen Jennifer do a lot is it's quite thin on the inner corner, or her makeup artists do a lot, and then it kind of thickens a bit on the outer corner, and then you can extend it out a little bit further. So she really does like the extended look. If you find that your eyes tend to crease as well beneath the lower lash line, go ahead and use your primer underneath the lower lash line. That's absolutely fine as well. So don't worry about the shape too much yet. And then I'm going to do the same and work the colour into the top lash line. This is more just to make sure that it's nice and opaque and quite strong around the lash line, because we're going to be blending it up. So with hooded eyes, some of this eyeshadow might disappear a little bit now when you open your eye again, but don't worry. What you want to do then when your eye is open is work the eyeshadow into the crease so that it's visible with the part that's actually open. So even though I've often seen her bring the colour quite high up on her eyelid, it's, you know, quite smoked out. It's nice and soft. I don't really want it to be like a stark wing shape. Could use your finger at this stage just to soften that out. Now before I smoke up the rest of my eyeshadow, I'm going to go into my Skin Finish Natural, which is just a face powder. You can use a natural coloured eyeshadow if you want, but I find that this works just as well. And it gives a really nice slip to the eyeshadow for blending over it. And you can bring that down a little bit on the lid. And then I'm just going to use the same brush, which is just a standard eyeshadow brush. And I'm going to pick up that black pearl again. So when you open your eye, you want to be able to start seeing this above the crease. But you don't want to bring it up too high yet because you want to soften it and blow it out. So I'd apply it so that you can just see it a little bit above the crease, and then we'll blend up the rest. And then of course you want to go into a blending brush, so I'm just going to use a MAC 217, and again with the same product, and just only have a little bit on it. As you're looking at yourself in the mirror, just make sure that you lightly blend it up to however far you're comfortable with, and soften out all of the edges. So you can even run it a little bit along the bottom. You can just kind of round out the sides so there's no pointy bits. So as your eyes are open and looking straight in the mirror, you should be able to see, you know, plenty of that eyeshadow above your crease. And just blend, blend, blend until you have that perfect. Of course, because you put down the powder or your light eyeshadow beforehand, it blends really easy over it. Sometimes it can help as well to go to a clean blending brush if the other one starts to get a bit dirty. For the inner corner, I'm going to use this gorgeous, what's it called? A lavender coloured, really frosty light eyeshadow. It's called Reflection, this guy here. Slightly smaller eyeshadow brush, and apply it just in there to the inner corner. Tiny bit like Stars and Rockets by MAC, I think, when it's on. You could also add kind of like a silvery highlighty colour if you want. I've seen that on Jennifer a few times as well. And then one thing I have seen her do is to kind of buff out the top eyeshadow with some, what looks to me like a really light transitionary colour like Kid or Wedge or Omega or something like that from MAC. Or you could use like your light natural blusher. That would do a similar job. It's just for people who maybe struggle a little bit with just blending out one dark eyeshadow. This is a good tip to help it transition into that lighter highlight. And you rarely see her with a shimmery highlight, so I'm just going to skip that altogether and let the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish be the highlight. Then for eyeliner, she usually has a bit of black eyeliner above the top lash line, but she doesn't seem to wing it much or anything like that. It's just for a bit of definition, so you can actually see the shape of it a little bit better. And then you can do a tiny little flick at the very end. I'm not even going to bring this all the way to the inner corner. Just going to bring it about 2/3 of the way in. Very, very thin. You can thicken it a little bit. One thing with hooded eyes is you have to be really careful if the eyeliner is too thick, and when you open the eye, if the top kind of skin part comes down over the eyeliner, it'll just smudge. So you want to try and keep it as thin as possible to avoid that. You can just kick it up a tiny bit at the very end. What I like about Jennifer's makeup is that they tend not to be too overdone. They're quite simple, yet effective. I mean, I think it's more because she's such a beautiful girl naturally. So that's pretty much it as far as eyeshadow is concerned. It's a really nice, simple, kind of fuss-free look. I'm going to apply plenty of mascara now. More so on the top lashes and just a little bit on the bottom lashes. I think she often wears false lashes. This is really good again for hooded eye shapes, it really just helps lift the eye and add some more drama. I'm just going to apply plenty of mascara. This is the number 7 Exceptional Definition Mascara. It's a little sample, but I really like it. And I would also suggest, if you have hooded lids, to curl your lashes as well. Now Jennifer naturally has, well, apart from the most beautifully flawless skin, she has really lovely youthful full cheeks, but she does have a little bit of definition underneath her cheekbones from having such high cheekbones. So I'm going to just use this Sleek Makeup Face Form palette and the contouring shade. This is my light palette. I'm going to use this Zoeva Face Shape brush and just lightly just apply a little bit of a shadow, more concentrating on the outer part of it, so up towards the top of my ear, not bring it too far down on my cheek. I'm just going to add a tiny bit of contour to my nose, just because her nose is really narrow at the tip, especially compared to her bridge, which is nothing like my nose whatsoever. So if you do have a wider tip, nose tip like me, all you have to do is just kind of blend a little bit of your contour powder just around the tip like this. Just don't add any of the contour around anywhere that is slim already, because that's just counterproductive. Just soften out the edges then with your face powder. And there are cheeks. I've never seen them looking too shimmery or shiny or anything like that, so I'm just going to use this Inkblot colour blush number 34. It has a teeny bit of a lift to it. Lightly pick up a tiny bit. Inkblot blushers are very strong, so I'd always tap it against the back of my hand or something, and then lightly brush it, not too far in towards the centre of the face. I think she avoids putting too much blusher on this area because she has such full cheeks anyhow, which would only make them look rounder than they are. And she sweeps it up towards the top of the temples or the ear area. And then for the lips, it's quite natural, mostly nudes that she wears. One of the pictures that I was looking at online, and I'll put pictures for reference on my blog, of course. She has this beautiful coral lip on. So I'm just going to really lightly correct the shape with Subculture by MAC. And I'm going to use this amplified lipstick by MAC. It's Salute from their last summer collection, but use like Pure Zen or Shy Girl or Ravishing or something like that to get a very similar effect. It's just a really light kind of coral nude. And I would leave it at that. I wouldn't even bother with a gloss, because I think that there's enough of a sheen off this particular lipstick. Depending on obviously the finish, you could add a gloss if it was more of a matte lipstick. Okay, so that's the total finished look. It's like a really simple, easy to achieve one. Again, it's just really fresh and youthful and pretty, but it still puts a lot of emphasis on those eyes. And as usual, go to LetzMakeup.com for all the entire product list. So that'll include the base, which obviously I didn't go into too much, and there'll be reference pictures. So if you want to see kind of the looks I was looking at in regards to Jennifer's own makeup, and then more pictures of my own makeup. So thanks a million for watching, guys, and I'll chat to you all really soon. Slán!